Time for New Wellness TV with Dr. Lee. Join your host, the accomplished Dr. Cherilyn Lee, as she welcomes the leading experts in health and well-being as they explore the advancements in natural health, physical fitness, nutrition, integrative medicine, and self-discovery.
Good day, everyone, or evening, whatever time you're watching the show. And thank you for joining us again for another wonderful, glorious day. Thank you very much for tuning in to New Wellness TV with Dr. Lee. I have a very, very, very wonderful, exciting show today. And not that it's exciting because we know the title of the show is All Women Rock for Good Health. Because there's an event coming up that's called All Women Rock, but we rock now for good health. And I'm going to be doing something special at this event. But before I get into all of that, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And do know, you want to get a pen and paper ready so that you could take notes. So you have everything and the dates all ready for what's about to happen. It's going to be fabulous. So my guest today is Mr. Carl Wilson.
Yes.
And then I have the wonderful and only Shelly Harrison and Tanya Brown. I want to thank you. And we're having this event, and I just want to say this because there's other people in the audience as well who are being nominated. And I'm going to have Mr. Carl Nelson and Ms. Harrison tell a little bit more about the event that's coming up, All Women Rock. So some of the nominees, I was nominated, and I am so honored to be nominated for All Women Rock. The name of the show today, though, is All Women Rock for Good Health. And then another nominee, which I'm so excited, is Dr. Sarah Larson. Where's our sound? Okay.
I was waiting for you to introduce me.
We have one more, too. And then we have Janet Rodriguez. I did not forget. Thank you so much, Janet. She's one of the nominees and just a phenomenal lady. So these ladies are going to be telling a little bit more, but I'm going to have Carl to introduce Shelly and tell a little bit more about themselves, or I'll have them as well.
Okay.
And you are the founder of this event that's about to take place.
I am.
Then I'm going to be talking about more on the why women rock for good health.
Okay.
Myself, Dr. Larson, who is a doctor here today as well. So it's all yours.
Okay.
Tell people who you are and what you do. And
I am Carl Wilson with C.D. Wilson Events. I'm a wedding planner, event planner, caterer, show promoter. Mm-hmm. And I came up with the concept of All Women Rock because I don't think that women are celebrated as much as they should be. So we came up with the concept. I talked with Shelly Harrison, publicist, and we co-collaborated on this event. And we thought it'd be a great thing to celebrate women that are making a difference in the community. Humanitarians, leaders.
Visionaries.
Visionaries, yes.
Leader as well.
And leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I just want Shelly. Shelly, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, Shelly. Why don't you tell everybody about yourself now, what you do, and who are you really? Come on.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Dr. Lee, for having me on the show as well.
Thank you for being here.
My company is Luminary Leaders, and we partnered with Carl probably about 5 months ago on this particular event. And I'm very excited because my friend, Tanya Brown, is going to be the keynote speaker, and she's got a powerful story that she's going to be sharing, and
can't wait.
A very special surprise, too. And then we have, all the phenomenal women that are going to be recognized at the event for the work that they do, the humanitarian work, the community service that they do for other women and empowering other women. So very excited for the event.
Wonderful. So, Ms. Brown, tell me a little bit about yourself, and there's also, I think you have a book that's out as well, right?
Yes, I do. I actually have two, and I keep forgetting that I have them.
Well, I'm glad I remembered.
Isn't that funny? It's like I get all these testimonials, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a book to market. But hey, I don't know how to market. I know how to speak and pump people up and inspire people. I have I'm the youngest sister of the late Nicole Brown Simpson. And what I want to encourage people is don't live in your event, whatever your event is, your situation. My motto is, identify with your circumstance, but don't make it your identity. And, did I do that in the very beginning after Nicole's murder? Heck no. No way. But through a lot of healing, an attempted suicide, a lot of therapy, a lot of hard work, a lot of expression and explosions, I walked out on the other side. So I really want to encourage, there's a lot of women out there who are wives, moms, right? They have to work full time. Maybe they're carrying the household on their own. There's a lot of pressure being a woman these days.
Oh, so, yes, it is.
Yeah, there's a lot, but there's a lot of things that you can do to find peace through all that chaos. And that's actually the title of one of my books.
And the title is?
Finding Peace Amid the Chaos.
Wonderful. Now, are you also a coach?
I am. I'm trying to figure out, like, instead of just calling myself a life coach, I've really been sitting on this. I think I'm more of like a self-care coach because I'm a big self-care advocate. I encourage people to put themselves first, be selfish in a good way, because without you being well, you're no good to the people you serve, to your family, to your friends.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to be calling myself like a self-care advocate, maybe. I don't know yet.
Now,
but
did you take your coaching classes in California?
I did. I actually got certified in 2000 after my best friend Troy died. It was something I've always coached people. I think we always have as women. We always, talk to our friends and furthermore. But after when Troy died, I needed something. Yes. And my girlfriend down in San Diego, Billy Francis, started a coaching practice called Guiding Mindful Change. And I love mindfulness. And even at a really young age, I've always been mindful. Not all the time. I shouldn't say always, but I've always practiced some sort of mindfulness. So I went through her coaching program and years have gone by and I just reconnected with her probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And I'm kind of back in the swing of things. I put a lot of things on hold. I was in graduate school. My mom had stage 3C breast cancer and my dad had Alzheimer's for a good 8 years. So, and then I was in hospice care for the past almost 2 years. So now I'm really stepping in now into myself and really saying, hey, you know what? I'm jumping in and doing what I'm good at, doing what I love, living life in purpose. Yeah, and so far it's working.
Wonderful. Because, in the 200, somewhere in the 200s, I was in a coaching class with one of your sisters. I thought it was you. That's why I asked you about that. In Orange County.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, because there was a lot of background noise. I didn't know you were addressing that to me.
Yes, I said, no, I asked you that because I was in a coaching class or symposium. I went through a workshop as a life coach.
Yeah.
With one of your sisters.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And I thought maybe it was you because it was so long ago.
My sisters are life coaches? That's a good one.
It was around the 200s, and it was in Orange County. I'm not going to say the Spencer Institute.
Oh, yes, that's me. That's me.
Then we were in the class together. You don't remember me, do you?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
It was so long,
apologies.
and it was so many people. That was a large group.
Yes, and that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And the reason why I said that, because of your name. And I said, I think she's the same one, because I couldn't remember neither. But yes, we were in the class together.
You know what? Shelly did say something. Oh, yeah, she knows you. So my apologies.
Well, that's okay, because I wasn't quite sure. But I just want to thank you so much for sharing. I guess since then, we both have gone through an awful lot. And, life, this is why women rock for good health is so important, because if women, we do. And we wear so many hats. As women, we carry so many hats and we go through so much, and we're the caregivers for the family. And then we have other extending families, and we're not a product of a lot of the stuff that happens in our families as well. And like you had said, because, things happen in families in general.
All
so
the
I just
time.
want to say
and you know
thank
what?
you so much for sharing.
Sorry.
Thank
Stuff happens, life happens, chaos happens. I mean, you gotta live 24 hours in the brown house, and then you will understand that I literally walk my talk, because really, I should be in rehab or dead.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something right.
Yes, you are. You're doing a lot that's right. And I can't wait to hear you speak. And I'm so happy that I met Carl Wilson here through a very dear friend, Jonathan Colbert.
Yes.
Who
Jonathan has been part of the family, I mean, on and off for, oh my goodness, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
We all used to play tennis together at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh my goodness, he is just amazing. So I'm so happy that he introduced me to Carl, and the rest now is history.
That's right.
So when I said, oh, I know some phenomenal women that I want to talk to, and they're here at UBN, the University Broadcasting Network here, and I said, I want to bring them on because they are fabulous, fantastic women. So I just want to talk about a little bit about the event, and then I'm going to talk about some things that it relates to health and what's going on with us as women. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, a little bit about the event. You can expect to see a lot of excitement. We have Unsung Lily, which is a singing group that Shelly brought to the table. They are phenomenal.
Okay.
Their music is they're very empowering. The music it's like an empowerment movement.
Okay.
So we love Unsung Lily, so they'll be there. We have the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts coming out for the opening of the show. We have young entrepreneurs, not just the older women that are doing great out there.
Seasoned.
Okay, let me say seasoned women that are doing great out there in the world. We also have the young entrepreneur also that's coming out. Young ladies from the ages 6 up to 28 that are doing phenomenal as humanitarians, business owners, models, doing fantastic. So we're going to award them as well.
Wonderful. So you have how many awardees?
We have, I think, Shelly, we have 33 awardees right now. I think
34.
34.
34.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And some of the most phenomenal women that you want to meet.
Yeah.
All phenomenal.
And I know I nominated, I think, Deborah Darris.
I talked with Deborah Darris the other day on the phone. Phenomenal.
Yes. She is a speaker, motivational speaker.
Yes.
So not just a motivational speaker. She would kill me if she heard me say that because she's much more than that. But she just did a class for me because I'm the director of NAFI for Marina Del Rey, and I brought her in. She spoke on how to be a paid speaker. So she's phenomenal. So she does a lot more than that. They saw her talent and they brought her on board to teach for free in the inner city, social media marketing. Isn't that amazing? So she's not in studio with us today, but you have some wonderful people that have come to the table, and I love what you're doing.
I'm excited to award them.
Yes. And I'm going to let one of the persons that I nominated who just came back into the country, so tell everyone a little bit about yourself here too. Dr. Sarah Larson.
Oh, wonderful. I'm just so grateful to be part of this. And I love what Carl shared and what you shared. Carl, behind the scenes, said, right in the green room, said, I've been surrounded by phenomenal women my whole life, my sisters, my mother, and I saw all the incredible things that they were doing. So I wanted to create something to award them. Yes. And then he mentioned how amazing you are, Dr. Lee, and said what a difference you've made for him and for the women that he knows that you work with, men and women. And so I'm just so honored to be part of this experience. And there's so many things as a medical doctor, as a medical intuitive, as someone, my heart really moves for those people that don't yet have all that we have in this country. As a village girl born in Pakistan, I'm so proud of some of the incredible work that the group and us Americans are doing all around the world. Puerto Rico is within the United States, and my sister and myself went to Puerto Rico. We went to these places that medicine, even today, over a year later, has not come back and reached into and brought health, wellness, resources, clothing, food, electricity. And so we did with the churches in Puerto Rico.
How
we
wonderful.
we went and visited some of those families and brought our version of healing and wellness.
Yes.
And we brought our kids. So my sister and I got to share with our kids some of the work that we're doing.
And you have beautiful, wonderful children.
It's
And you actually were able to share a lot of that. I did see it on Instagram and Facebook.
On social media,
Thank you.
on all of that. What I'm most proud of right now
Yes.
is on my grandparents' land. So, village girl in Pakistan, my grandparents' land, now 79 girls and 60 boys, and their families are being educated and fed. And we've processed that out for a year. And I'm so like grateful. We've, as miracle makers, which is what our group, we call ourselves in my family, even in Louisiana right now, we're feeding the homeless. And we're just a couple steps ahead of our brothers and sisters or our neighbors, and we're able to give to them from the overflow, but just being a couple steps ahead. And that's what we encourage within Miracle Makers or within the work that we're doing.
That's phenomenal.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. And I know you. That's
Yes.
why I heard you. And Janet, so she'll be back in the studio here with us, and she can tell a little bit about herself as well, because of the fact I love what she's doing, and she's reached out to so many people, and she's even doing something to help me with something. And I like how she doesn't mind to go the distance to make sure that everything is done right and set up right, and helping people on their journeys as well, and kind of removing herself, because she's really done a lot of fascinating things that I think is just wonderful, and she needs to be awarded for. And there's so many people, and I have so many friends. I kept calling Mr. Wilson here, Carl, and said, I need to add another person. I said, can I add another? He said, look, we have reached our limit. That's why I think they have so many. So Shelly, you can talk to me about it later, okay?
But
all good people.
On that notation, just to mention, when we're selecting these women, there are so many more. I told Shelly, Shelly and I were talking on the phone. I'm like, Shelly, if I could acknowledge and recognize and give so many more women an award, I would, but I can't. We have to stop at a certain point. But doing the research, I came across so many more women that are deserving, that are phenomenal, doing some great things.
Yes. So I'm just elated that I was chosen to be one of those for the work that I do under my nonprofit. And I would like to say, since this show is the show you're watching right now, All Women Rock for Good Health, I will be providing for the event free cardiovascular and metabolic screening, which is only a 3-minute test. So it's so important that we know as women where we are cardiovascular-wise. I would love to do the screening for breast health. I don't like the C word, so I say breast health. But unfortunately, that isn't a portable machine, and you have to be totally undressed. So keep your clothes on. We're going to do the cardiovascular screening, because I just need your fingers, a 3-minute test, because more women are dying from strokes than they are breast cancer. So I took that on as part of my nonprofit to provide that leg of doing the screening, because when we know better, we do better. We know, a lot of things are under the heading of silent killers. You don't have any symptoms until it hit you. So there's a situation of a lady, she was an anchor woman that was actually giving the news. And while she was in the midst of giving the news, she had a stroke. And she's very young. So we're seeing this in women in their 20s and as young as their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I've had a young lady that the family called me from the hospital and said, we don't know what's wrong with her. And we went through all the symptoms, and unfortunately she had a stroke, and she's 25 years old. So sometimes we look at the fact that a woman is, seasoned, not older, but seasoned. And we look at the fact that, because in the 60s and 50s, that's kind of common. But no, vascular diseases are happening very, very early. So this is what I will be providing. And I love this device that I use because not only am I looking at the vascular and seeing the percentage of plaque that's in the body, because this test will give me the level or percentage of plaque you have in your body. So if you have, you're at type 3, which is a lot of plaque, then, you know, there's another step. You need to get some other vascular tests done to see what's going on with the carotid artery and the veins or whatever behind the neck. Because the reason why this is called Beauty Shop Stroke Screening, I titled it that because in doing research, and it was like a God-given the way it started, but some years ago, if you have hard plaque in your carotid arteries here and the vertebral artery in the back of your neck, and you get into the bowl, this is men or women, and you get into the bowl to have your hair done in a beauty parlor or beauty shop, and that plaque breaks off, it will go to your brain and cause you to have a stroke. Now, since I started my nonprofit, someone, actually, I think it was in San Diego, actually on YouTube, tried to sue a salon because she had a stroke having her hair done. So I just want to say that if you know this is happening, then there's certain things you will not do. Number one, you need to be on a program that's going to help dissolve the plaque. If it's very hard, you might have to have it surgically removed by a vascular surgeon. Secondly, you do not want to massage your neck. A lot of times we want to massage our neck up in here and rub and rub and rub. But if you have plaque somewhere up in here in your neck and you start massaging, that could break off. So you don't want to do that. Even driving a car, turning your head very hard when you go to look to see if there's a car behind you. Even that, if it's hard plaque, that will show up. So I'm working on my assistant being there too to do the vascular screening along with me doing the probe screening, because you can actually see live if it's hard plaque because it looks like chalk. It's white looking. You can actually see it. So this is all going to be real time at the event.
Can I ask you a question? How does that compare to stress? Because sometimes when you're stressed, you have those symptoms as well.
Well, stress is a whole nother level.
Okay.
We're looking at plaque right now.
Okay.
And the machine also tests the your autonomic nervous system.
Okay.
So that's your parasympathetic, excuse me, your parasympathetic and sympathetic, your fight or flight. And when I do the test to people, they all know me for saying this now. It's like you're the type of person, you step on the gas and you never step on the brakes. You just step on the gas and go, and go, and go, and go, and go. That's your sympathetic system dealing with your adrenals. And if that's happening, guess what? You're going to have your cortisol levels going to increase. That's your stress, part of your stress hormone. And other hormones are going to increase. They can cause you cancer, diabetes, blindness, hair loss, skin problems. Stress can affect from the top of your head to your toes from stress, including a heart attack.
98% of all illness is related to stress.
Yes.
And we have to, on a daily basis, figure out ways in which we're dealing with stress. And what the ancient ones do in India, I think screenings are amazing. And at my events now, at the ones that I'm producing, I'm having Dr. Lee come in and do the screenings as a gift to anyone that attends. And so it's such a gift that this will be available. Anyone that's coming in, for women and for the men coming to celebrate them. The stress literally thickens our blood.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're stressed, then the way that blood flows through your system is thicker than when you're laughing or when you're relaxed based on the hormonal cascade. One of the ways that you can decrease stress immediately is just touching your own skin, touching yourself, hugging someone, like up to 20% reduction in stress with physical interaction. And
not someone that you're upset with. That will increase it. So keep in mind, it's somebody that you have feelings for and you care about. Deep breathing will do it really quick too. Will bring down the blood pressure, keep you from having a heart attack. Just do some deep breathing, especially if you do the deep breathing where you take in a breath slowly. And we had a Dr. Benton on the show that went through all of that too. Taking a deep breath and move your head back as you take a breath. Blow out And if you just did that with me, you'll feel within a second the stress start to come down. Laughter. I tell people, find something funny and laugh.
Laughter's help.
Because laughter will definitely help that stress level and bring things down fast. Sometimes it may not seem funny. I have laughed at myself. I was running down the street one day trying to make sure I moved my car before it was towed away. And I got busy shopping. and I saw the tow truck coming, so I took off running. And I'm like, oh my, and I was on Wilshire Boulevard. I mean, I couldn't believe I was on Wilshire. But I didn't take off running. I kind of stepped off the curb and fell. But when I fell, I actually hyperextended my hand all the way back. It looked like I'd broken all the blood vessels in my hand. But a guy was like a couple of feet ahead of me, and he said, oh my goodness, what car struck you? Because my body hit the ground so hard, and I said, it was a body slam to the cement. That's what I was. So it tickled me him thinking a car hit me, and it was my body hitting the cement, that I laughed so hard that I had no pain. I laughed so hard. They picked me up, and I had tears of laughter because he was trying to pick me up and thought the car had struck me. I said, no, I fell. So I laughed so hard, I laughed myself totally out of pain. And that's the first time that I actually noticed that how laughter really, really helped with pain. Because I was in severe
There's
pain
all
later.
of these studies that show that
There's
you're
laughter.
literally
Exactly.
any time that you laugh, your body believes everything's okay. That's why there's all these laugh tracks on television. All of your body will literally take any suggestion after you're laughing as well. Like, are you okay? And your body will believe that as well. And it's amazing what our bodies are capable of.
Yes.
With the ancient ones in India, every day do oil pulling,
Which is wonderful.
which is amazing. Coconut oil or sesame seed oil for the plaque in the carotids. 20 minutes of oil pulling every day will help remove and replace. It's sort of like doing exercise and those in ancient India, those that are practicing this in Europe, have been able to trade out the toxic.
Exactly.
Any toxins get wrapped in fat. And so the plaque is fat that's hardened around a toxin. So the brain is stopped from getting toxins. The carotids will catch it. And if you start doing oil pulling, small amounts of oil will replace the plaqued oil and help.
You should do this in the mornings with the oil. And make sure it could be solid because it's going to melt in your mouth. And make sure when you're doing this and swishing around the mouth really well that you don't spit all this oil into the toilets. People have had problems with plumbing. So you want to take it and put it in a cup, spit it into a cup, and throw the cup away, like a little plastic cup or paper cup, and throw it away. But don't keep putting that in the toilet every day. But that oil pulling is so fabulous. Thank you so much for bringing that up. You know, I want to go to Ms. Brown because of the fact you have gone through so many journeys in healing yourself. Tell us some of the ways and things you do for stress. And then we're going to ask Shelly, what do you do? Because you're a very busy lady. So I know you have to have some outlets here to dealing with stress as well. Shelly? Ms. Brown.
So I breathe. So thank you for bringing that up. I tell my clients, because I also run groups in recovery and treatment centers as well as behavioral health centers. Yeah. So box breathing, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like breathing in for 4, hold for 4, let out for 4, hold for 4, and then repeat that cycle. Deep breathing. I mean, when I talk about deep breathing, I'm like, let that muffin top out and fill your lungs with air. You know, it's free. You need it to survive. So box breathing really helps. Meditation, absolutely. Just closing the eyes just for like 5 minutes. You know, the brain is stressed. Not only are we stressed. I talked to a psychiatrist, Dr. Lawrence Tucker. He used to work with Dr. Daniel Amen in Costa Mesa. I had lunch with him one time. And I said, why are we seeing so much chaos? Now, this is before like the real chaos that we're seeing. This is years ago. And I asked him, I said, why are we seeing so much depression, anxiety, murder, just all the chaos? Why are we seeing so many angry people? And he said, it's simple. He goes, the brain is stressed.
Yes.
The brain is an organ that was not created to be on these things all the time, right? Or connected to our computers. Yes, we need it for work. But the brain was not created to be stimulated 24 hours a day. So I do breathing, I do meditation. And I think what's really important is some sort of spiritual connection. You know, it doesn't need to be Jesus, Buddha, whatever that is for you. Just sit in silence, read a devotional, whatever that is for you, because we don't have enough inspiration in our lives as a community, as a whole. People really aren't connected to one another. And I think not only getting connected with one another, but getting connected with something bigger than ourselves. So, you know, whatever that is, it could be, you could go to the store and get, you know, a devotional. I love The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. The Language of Letting Go.
Yes.
And, you know, it's one of those daily little devotionals. And, I wish I had my copy with me. I'd show the cover. But that is a great way to start off the morning. But I'll tell you, the number one thing that has been my saving grace, or also essential oils. Like I'll carry my lavender with me and I'm like at a stoplight. I douse it on my wrist. You know, people may think I'm crazy, but I don't care. So essential oils, actually I am crazy. I have papers, right? So essential oils are really, really powerful. Lavender, aromatherapy. But breath work is the best anti-anxiety drug known to man, in my opinion. So again, like what you were saying, you do that deep breathing. You know, you could do box breathing. You could do, you know, just a simple 5 exercises like you just showed us. Do that 5 times, immediately guaranteed your anxiety levels will decrease. You know, again, if we're sitting in traffic, you know, shoulders, I don't do this because I feel like it tenses me up, and I'm usually in the car. So I hold it more down below, and I always do check-ins with my body. Are my shoulders back? Is my back arched, or am I in like a neutral state? A big one that you had mentioned, your other guest, is that, and excuse me for not knowing the name offhand, but is hugs. Huge hugs. Shelly, you know me, huge hugs. My huge hugs necklace broke, unfortunately. I need to get a new one. But hugging, you know, I mean, again, that decreases a person's anxiety. It decreases your anxiety. So you know, every time that I sign my book, I'm like, huge hugs, because we don't get enough. And we get in trouble, actually, for hugging women.
And I'm just going to interject right there, because everybody didn't know me, know that I hug. But I hug heart to heart.
Yes.
So every time I hug, we hug heart to heart.
Right.
Yeah. And heart to heart is, too, a safe hug if you're going to be hugging men all the time.
Absolutely. So, you know, there's
a
appropriate
safe hug
hugging.
because you're not standing right in front of So it's really
There's
safe.
appropriate hugging, and then there's inappropriate hugging. So if you don't know the difference out there, you know, read up on it, because there's, you know, especially in the Me Too movement, as you know, I'm a big, you know, sexual assault, domestic violence advocate. But so if you don't know what healthy is and what unhealthy is, do research on that.
Exactly.
So, but hugging, meditation, breath work, devotionals, aromatherapy, that probably would be the top 5.
Yeah.
And I talk about my problems. I don't hold stuff in. You know, I'll call my friends and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'll let it out. And I think people don't have a safe place to talk about.
You have to have that safe net. And, you know, sometimes you want to, if you have a good friend, you can say, you know what, I just want to vent. It's not like I'm looking for advice. I don't need this. I just want to vent. I just want to get it out. Sometimes you don't have that person. Just start saying it. You could put it on a tape recorder or just talk. Record it yourself. And once you listen to it again, you say, you know what, that wasn't that bad. Especially if you go back and listen to it a couple of days later.
Exactly.
And you'll say, you know, I got so worked up. And it wasn't that bad. Or it wasn't exactly what I thought it was.
Exactly. So it's always good to be introspective. Just do body check-ins, do emotional mental health check-ins. Oh, shoot, I was just going to say something. Gosh dog it. It'll come back to me.
It will. It will.
It's those 12 hugs a day is the ideal. 8 hugs a day is minimum, is what science shows with oxytocin and the release in serotonin. So we're mammals and we're 12 hugs a day, and you can hug the same person
Yes.
12 times. It's really, really beautiful. There's an intelligence to our body. That body intelligence is really, really phenomenal.
It certainly is.
So, yes.
So, Shelly, just tell us, what do you do as far as...
So actually, I could say I learned a lot of the things that Tanya was talking about when, like 5 or 6 years ago. So I really implemented a lot of, as far as the meditation, I use Headspace usually every morning, and I'll go for about 10 minutes, and that really puts me at peace. And years ago, I decided to let go of the word stress, and I call it pressure. I don't get stressed. I really try as best I can, especially having teenagers, where, I try to make time for myself. I also do the essential oils. So I love my lavender too, just like Tanya. And as far as, friends, I have a wonderful group of friends that I've been, just for years that we've always been able to bounce, situations off of one another. Grief, divorce, different things, and having that social, community with very good friends, I think helps as well. And the breathing. That's one thing that sometimes I think, as busy business owners, we get to the point where sometimes we just forget to breathe.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I've really implemented in my daily routine, and getting up and not sitting so long in my office, where I kind of get up and move around.
Yes. And all these, are wonderful tools that we need to just remind ourselves of these things on a daily basis. What I do, I start off the night before, and I go to sleep with gratitude. So if I go to sleep with gratitude, I wake up feeling great because I program myself the night before to feel wonderful the next day. This is why Mr. Wilson said, I need to speak to you in the morning, because I feel like in talking to you in the morning, I have a cup of coffee and get my adrenaline going, because I have programmed myself the night before for wellness and good health the next morning. I've told myself, you're going to wake up and spring out of this bed feeling better today than ever. And so this is what I do. So when I go to sleep, and before I go to sleep, because, our minds as women, we're just going. And not it's all the chatterness in our mind. So I want to quiet that down. So when I place myself in a place of gratitude and just being grateful for the day, grateful for the bed I'm sleeping in, grateful for whoever was involved with the sheets and the pillowcase. If you take your time in being grateful and ask for protection of all those people that made it possible for you to be in your bed sleeping, for you to have a roof over your head, for the nails that are placed in this. I mean, just the little things we forget. All those people that made that possible. And by the time you go through your entire bed or your room, you're asleep. But you wake up feeling really great. So don't go to bed with negative things on your mind, because that's going to pull you down and you lose a lot of that energetic energy in doing that. So go to bed happy. If you have to just think of, hey, I'm happy I'm lying here. I made it through the day. I wasn't, shot and killed somewhere. I wasn't, a car accident. My family is still well. We got a lot to be grateful for. And sometimes things do happen, but we still have to be grateful. And then take that time for being grateful. And if you do that, I'm telling you, with your prayers and whatever you do at night, that gratefulness, I have one person, he took everything in the world for insomnia. And we did some of everything. And this is not the celebrity person, but someone else here recently. And when I taken him through that night on gratitude, he went to sleep, and he's been sleeping like a baby ever since. So now that's what he's utilizing, gratitude. He's much happier. His blood pressure is becoming much lower. So it's amazing when you take time to just think of the little things. And they're not little things. I had a gentleman I knew. He went through a lot of stress, went through a divorce, and he wasn't really listening to anyone after going through all the divorce. He was just stressful. And actually, I didn't realize this had happened to him until later. He woke up one morning, and he turned the light on, and he thought it was still night. So he woke up totally blind and didn't know that it was daytime. So when you open your eyes in the morning and you can see, You just don't know what a blessing that is. How would you feel to wake up and just think it's still nighttime because now you're totally blind? So, we have to be thankful for the little things. And they're not little. They're not little. You're breathing on your own lungs. Your heart is beating. If you had a kidney or some type of transplant, at least you're still here. And you're still here. So, just be thankful. Take time to be thankful. If we did that and do our hugs and everything, we would be a much better group of people in this society. We would love each other and send out the love to each other. It's so important in this day and time. And, this is why I think collectively we're all here together in the studio. I don't know where Janet is. Where's Janet?
I'd love to add just to that.
Please.
It's so beautiful. Our neurobiologically, we're wired to remember the negative. Mm-hmm. So the negative sticks to us like Velcro. And so when we're going to sleep, and if we don't have a practice, the negative's what's going to come up and keep us stressed because it's stuck to us like Velcro. But yes, it's still in your mind. It's still having an effect on your body. So, and the positive slides off like Teflon because neurobiologically we didn't need to remember the positive. Yes. Teflon sliding off. So if we make it a habit every night before going to bed for the positives of the day, what we're grateful for, what's there, then that circulates through our body as our body's regenerating ourselves. We found that every part of our body regenerates itself. And when you're less stressed, in all the gratitude studies, when you're grateful, your blood flows, you're more in sync. It's like it when you're in love. You don't need to eat. You don't need to sleep. That's what it feels like when you do the gratitude practices over and over again. And if you do them before bed, you're falling more and more in love with your own life, your own body, what you've created around you. And so your body generates the next day your own caffeine when you open up your eyes.
Exactly. And you feel great. And that's so important, to wake up feeling wonderful.
Yes.
Because I at one time I had some major problems. So I told someone maybe I should just sage, not my computer, but I have such problems with people and websites, developing them and getting them going. I said, this is, but I said, I got to stop saying that. I got to turn that energy around and stop saying I have all these problems. And now the right person has come along. I changed that whole attitude. I met with her the other night, who was starting on it. So I've finally met with the right person, but I changed what I was saying as well. And now that we have our dear beloved Janet Hernandez, I want you to tell people.
Hi, Janet.
Rodriguez in the house.
Rodriguez back in the studio. Thank you, Janet. And I want you to tell people, what do you do?
Come over here.
Oh, sure.
I have no mic or camera over there.
Oh, yeah. Come join.
I have a mic over there.
No, join right here.
Come over here with me. Come on. Come on.
I'll share seats with her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, share here.
So I want you to share what do you do as far as alleviating stress? I mean, you're a mom. You're working full-time plus.
Right.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what it is you're doing, because you're one of the nominees as well for All Women Rock for October 14th.
Yes. Thank you so much for the nomination, Dr. Lee, and thank you so much to Carl for accepting the nomination. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be such an exciting event.
Shelly.
Yes. Hi, everybody. That's right. We have folks on TV.
Yes.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Shelly. So meditation is huge in my life.
Okay.
I wake up every morning and I do something that I saw Denzel Washington do years ago, or he posted something, and I purposely put my slippers underneath my bed, way far into my bed, so I can be forced to get on my knees and just be grateful for another day and meditate. So that's definitely how I deal with stress.
Okay. Now, in the middle of a storm, what do you do? I mean, if you're in the middle of chaos in the middle of the day, what do you do?
It almost seems like I function better when there's chaos.
No, you're running on adrenals. So, we become this adrenal addict,
right?
Because we're running on those adrenals, which is not good. I mean, I know because I have been there too.
Right. I think you just become used to it. I'm sure, Carl, you can relate, right? As event planners, we have to go with the left and the right hits that come in all this, every single time. And we just, make the best of it and make things work because at the end of the day, it all works out somehow, some way, right,
You make
Carl?
a good point, because actually I get better. up
Right.
under stress. Everything comes out.
Yeah, I do
perfect,
too,
so.
but I have to say, okay, I know what it's affecting. It's going to affect my blood pressure. It's going to affect this. And so I'm going to start, while I'm standing, the person could be going on and on and on. And I just start doing my breathing.
Right.
I mean, I don't have to go lean my head back and do all that while I'm standing in front of someone, but they don't even notice I'm doing my deep breathing.
Right.
Because I got to take myself to a place. Or I'll just stand there and I'll visualize the ocean,
Right.
or a waterfall. Because that's what takes me to a place, because I do biofeedback with people. And I want to see, in the middle of a storm, what is going to relax you?
Right. Right.
Where can you take yourself mentally that's going to bring down the pressure before something explodes?
Yeah, absolutely.
But people on the phone, this is what I do with them. Real quickly, if they're really stressing me out on the phone, and I don't like to say, because no one should have that kind of power to stress you out
Right.
in the first place. But this one gentleman, this went on, and he was just in a rage. And I said, I love you so much, in a nice tone, that I'm going to hang up and let you collect yourself. And when you feel that you can talk without screaming, call me back.
Wow.
Click.
Yep. Really that
And then that was
simple.
better for me,
Right.
because I lowered my tone. I'm not going to go there with you.
Right.
So we have to really kind of sometime see what we can do right now, because we know people have heart attacks arguing with people.
Yeah.
So what can I do right now?
Right.
to
It's a
change
choice.
that? Yeah.
At the end of the day, we make that choice
Yeah.
too.
And the meditation, I love that with the slippers.
Yeah, definitely
I
dig
love
my
that.
slippers way underneath my bed. I'm forced to
that.
go get them. And then 90% of winning in anything is attitude. So if our attitude isn't right, if we, complain and whine and moan and whatever, that's exactly what we're going to get. We're going to draw more of that
Exactly.
negativity towards us. So it's always best to take it all in with a smile and be excited about, just life. And then we'll figure it out. That 10% is a dogfight, but 90% is all attitude.
Yes. And you're doing things well. So tell
Thank
people,
you.
what is it that you're doing here at UBN?
We're having a blast here at UBN. We're restructuring. Our awesome CEO and owner, Tony Sweet, has given us an opportunity. There he is. He's given us an opportunity to expand UBN. So we've now expanded and we have a subsidiary called UBN Latino. So we've got a total of 6 shows that are just dominating internet media and digital media. So we're having a really good time with that. We're also going to launch a gaming channel as well as a medical channel and all this other fun stuff. So we're restructuring the home base as well. We are beautifying the studio.
Very nice.
We're upgrading. We're adding new shows. We're cleaning up old shows. And so there's a lot happening here in the wonderful, beautiful state of Hollywood.
She's going to give my show a facelift.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We're going to do a lot to your show. We're going to do some promo videos with you. We're going to do a nice photo shoot with you. We're going to just give her a nice look that she deserves.
And you just don't know how happy I am.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I'm honored that you're going to do that.
Thank you. We're going to have a
Thank
good time
you.
doing it too.
Thank you. Yes. Because my prayer, number one prayer too, and goal is to be able to edify people through the show. This is why I do this. I have no sponsors. I'm the sponsor. And from New Wellness Healthcare, the clinic itself, we're located in Marina Del Rey. So we are the sponsor for New Wellness TV with myself. And but my number one prayer is people walk away from the show being edified. Does something help you with your life and your journey? You're not alone. You've heard Tanya tell her story. I mean, it's amazing. So I really want people to come out to the event for October 14th. It's the first annual All Women Rock, but this is going to be an ongoing. You know what, Carl? You might have to do this twice a year.
I may have to.
Because it's just too many women.
There's a lot of superstars.
Yes, it is. And just a little notation on Dr. Lee, and we were talking about on the phone the other day about her being acknowledged not only at All Women Rock, but financially. And we had to talk about that because I think she does so much with so many people. My company, C.D. Wilson Events, we actually added her to the All Men Rock event that's going on next year. And she's her company is a recipient of financial money contributed to her because I think it takes money to actually move your business and grow your business. So C.D. Wilson Events is going to actually start helping her financially
with
grow
my
her business.
nonprofit. So we
With
do
her
have a
nonprofit.
nonprofit.
With her nonprofit.
Because I do all the stroke screening and I show up
Yes.
at events. throughout the year. Matter of fact, I'm going to Vegas. I have a TV interview, so I'll be there in a couple of weeks. I'll be in the Bahamas for a meeting and speaking there. So, I take this, and it's portable. So it's really good so I can do this. All Men Rock is my concept. I was so happy I came up with All Men Rock. I said, we should have an All Men Rock. And you took the ball and ran with it. So All Men Rock event 2019 is in April 20th. I have already nominated someone, and he accepted, so I can say his name. He'll be on the show here very soon. So he's one of the recipients, and you have spoke to several people as well.
Yes, and Shelly Harrison has spoke with some people as well. Bill Dukes, Dr. Lee is pertaining to Bill Dukes. He's an actor.
Yeah, I spoke to him, and he said yes. He was more than honored to be come on board. And there's several others. And this was just new. I came up with an idea, and which I come up with a lot of really fabulous ideas, and presented it to Carl Wilson here and to Shelly, and they said, "Yeah, let's do it."
So we're going to.
That's great. That's great.
All Men Rock.
All Men Rock next year, April 20th.
I remember.
2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just really excited, and we have another person probably sitting here that we're going to be talking to. We're not going to say his name right now.
The only other male in the room.
So I'm just honored that I'm on board on such a wonderful event, especially with the All Women Rock. And women, please, our health, from head to toe. Make sure that you're checking things out.
Right.
I do the vascular screening and make sure I'm not an advocate on mammograms, so I do the thermography. So you're more than welcome. Under my nonprofit, I'm the only one that offers this for free. So I have the machine in the clinic. It is not portable. It's 119 acupuncture points. So I can go through the body, but you can make an appointment and come on and have this done. That's part of my nonprofit. Breast health awareness, because 40% of breast cancer now are men. 40% are men.
Wow.
So please, I test men, women, and children.
Interesting.
This year, the bill was passed for inflammatory breast cancer, so that it wouldn't be detected anyway with a mammogram, and it's not really detected with an ultrasound. But infrared, you're able to pick it up. Inflammatory Breast Cancer Awareness Day is October 3rd. So we'll be doing something on that as well. But I am so excited. And everybody, please keep in mind the event for October 14th is in Ontario. You want to give them the address, Carl? Shelly?
Yes, it's 700 North Haven, Ontario, California, the Ontario Airport Hotel Conference Center. And Tanya, I look forward to hearing you.
Same here.
I know you're going to bring it.
Yeah. Same here. I'm excited. We're going to have to talk, too.
Yes.
Just for Shelly, with Luminary Leaders, thank you so much. You have been a wonderful person. Collaborating with you on this event has been awesome. It's going to be successful. And we also have Mother and Daughter Tea coming up as well, September 23rd, which is going to be exciting, too.
Okay. This is wonderful.
That's awesome.
We're going to do a countdown because it's time to close up here and end the show.
On the internet, where do we find the event?
Or tickets.
Oh, you can find it on cdwilsonevents.com, our website. Shelly has a link also. Shelly, you want to share that link?
Which is an Eventbrite link, and it's All Women Rock Conference 2018. And that's on Eventbrite.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Larson, for bringing that to our attention. And I want to say thank you so much, Janet, for accepting. Robbie Martyr is one of the nominees, who is a very, very dear friend of mine. So I'm happy that she's going to be there. And there's so many people. I'm going to meet so many people I have not ever met before, which is wonderful. To be in a room with such distinguishing women from all walks of life. It's going to be wonderful. So please join us October 14th. For All Women Rock. We rock, baby. Yay. We rock.
Yes, you do. All Women Rock. Thank you.
And as I always end the show, I want to say, repeat after me, because it's not I am. It's for you. Okay? So repeat after me. I am.
I am.
So grateful.
So grateful.
Grateful.
That I am.
That I am.
A magnet.
A magnet.
A magnet.
Miracles.
For miracles.
Keep sending me your miracles. Everybody been sending me some wonderful emails, so thank you. Keep them coming. And keep saying that, because we're all magnets for miracles. And if you say this and you feel it, this is why I draw in all these wonderful people. Okay, everybody go out and hug somebody. Have a blessed day.
Excellent.
Join us every Wednesday live at 11 a.m. for New Wellness TV with Dr. Lee. Remember, healthy mind, healthy body.